Alright, I'm back, and this is the second segment of chatting with Taken for this month. So, I'll just go down my pull list, which has grown to a ridiculous sum, and, just give my thoughts on what I've read. So, Ultimate Comics X-Men, I got all the back issues, and I'm at, I think, issue 6 or 7. The one where Scarlet Witch comes around, but I haven't actually read that one. I only read up to the arc where they went to, stop Stryker in New York, so that was very fun. And like, the Human Torch is with them, and he's like, "I'm a mutant, guys, because it's a man-made or it's a man-made virus or whatever." And they're like, "Yeah, you're not a mutant." Yeah, because he's all like, "Yeah, well, you guys weren't born that way either, and neither was I, so now I can be a mutant." That's really funny. And then like the newest issues of what's come out, yeah, they're on Utopia. Crap, actually I haven't read today's issue. I just realized that. Dang it, I need to do that when I'm done with this. But I'm enjoying that with the whole like divide between Mach 2's group and Kitty's group, and then Jean Grey showed up. But then it's weird because like I went and read oh yeah, actually Comixology had that like 700 number 1 issues, and I got all of them. So yeah. And so like I went back and read the Ultimate X-Men book that was like the it was like the aftermath of after Ultimatum, because like basically I'm reading like all the Ultimate comic books I'm reading, or Ultimate Comics comic books that I'm reading from Marvel, are taking place after Ultimatum, because Ultimatum's like an event where like a bunch of like heroes got killed, and in the Ultimate universe like there's permadeath, so once you die you're not coming back. So that's the only reason I'm really reading any Ultimate Comics, is because like the permadeath thing is like, oh well, I guess they can't just have some thing and be like, oh well, they're not dead anymore. So that's always just weird to me. So yeah, and where they're at now is just like I was saying, Mach 2's group, Kitty's group, and then like Jean Grey showed up. But then it was weird because when I was reading the first issue of the Ultimate Comics volume like 3, I think it's in, like she was recruiting some mutant, but then like that mutant's parents killed her or something. It didn't really show like what happened to her after that, so I'm interested to see like how she went from that to where she's at now, to where she's kind of against the X-Men, or not really with them. So yeah, that's interesting. In the Ultimate Comics X-Men, I'm basically in the same spot where I bought all the back issues, and I read up to like issue I think it's like the one right after he meets Spider-Woman and Nick Fury gives him his costume. It's like the first 6 or 7 issues. That was really cool, because I was reading and I was like, okay, when's he gonna get his costume? Because like I was like so ready for him to just like get it and like start fighting crime. But there's like a lot of build up and character development. It's like really good. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Ultimate like Comic Spider-Man. I really like Miles. But then it's crazy because like in the last issue there's like a huge spoiler. I'm not gonna say what happens, but I was like, oh man, how did they? I can't believe they just did that. But then it makes sense because like it's something that they do with Spider-Man. So it's like, oh well, duh. That like hadn't happened to Miles yet, and it makes sense in that regard. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the art on that book. Yeah. And then Age of Ultron, it's not getting as good as I was hoping it would get. So, because last week something happened, and then today we got to see like the aftermath of that thing that happened, and it wasn't really too awesome. So I'm hoping it gets better. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of like learning my lesson that if there's like an event that's like focused around Avengers characters, I probably won't enjoy it as much. So I'm not sure about Infinity, but I'll go ahead and read it just because it's like all these new books I'm reading that are like all taking place in space, and it's like more on a galactic scale. So I'd probably be more interested in it anyway. So yeah. Thanos Rising. That's just a dark, disturbing book. I kind of regret picking it up because it's like I wasn't knowing what to expect this one. Last one I was just like, man, that was weird and creepy. This one I read, I was like, wow, that was just very weird and dark and kind of depressing. I don't know if I want to read the rest of them. So, but I'll stick with it just because Thanos is like a interesting character, and they did some cool things where he's like driven to like gain knowledge, but he like the way he goes about it is just really, really messed up. And then Iron Man, I'm really enjoying. I like the whole, like the arc they're in now of the secret origin of Iron Man or Tony Stark. I thought that was really cool. Like especially versus like the first like however many, or before he gets into space and he's just like hunting down like the remnants of the extremist suit and remnant or virus or whatever. So that was like a departure, and I really appreciate it because it's very different from that first arc in the book, and I just enjoy this a lot more because it's Tony Stark in space, and the scale and scope is like way more than it was in the first arc. And like it's cool because I've been reading Guardians of the Galaxy as well, and he's on the team. But then like you get in the prologue of this book, this is basically like the untold stories of like when he was with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he wasn't with them doing his thing as with that team. So that's pretty cool. And like there's this whole part where he's like on this alien planet, and there's all these aliens, he's the only human there. Well, not the only one. There's Star-Lord was there for like a second, but then he left, so that was pretty cool. Like just to have like all the aliens and like be on an alien planet, or just like, I don't know, spacefaring, planet hopping, not Mass Effect style, but it kind of makes me wish I had a sci-fi thing to get into, but this is close enough, I guess. Or as close as I'll get until there's another Mass Effect game. And then I read the Punisher Warzone Limited series where he went up against the Avengers. That was very, very nice. I enjoyed that a lot. I do Deadpool. I have like I have the first few issues, but I dropped it. I'm not. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So yeah. I read the first issue and I was like just like and I haven't really gone back and read the second one. So I don't know. It's weird because like Deadpool is like a character that like a bunch of people like. So I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know much about him. And then I read the first issue and I was like, oh well, I don't know if I like this guy. So whatever floats your boat. It wasn't for me. And then Daredevil, I'm really enjoying. I've been reading it since like issue 23, and then I accidentally bought the first issue, or not the first issue. I accidentally bought the annual because I didn't know like the numbering structure on comic books at the time. So that was funny. But yeah, it's getting really good. And 25 was just like a really good throwdown, and Daredevil got his ass handed to him. It was great. So really good. Thunderbolts. The current story that they're on of finally getting to the gamma powered robots that they'll fight, it's like finally, you know, more action. Whereas the first mission of the dictator, it wasn't that it was too slow, it was just like it was weird how it was like they botched the mission, so it was kind of disjointed, and you got like a bunch of different perspectives on what was happening, and it fit together, but it wasn't what I was expecting from the book. So I was like, oh, okay. Superior Spider-Man, I'm loving Superior Spider-Man. Like, I talked about it in my comic book talk this week, but man, Otto as Spider-Man is just so good, and just like that whole dynamic of before this issue, when stuff went down, I'm not going to say it because you'll have to just watch the other video, but like you had, like, the remnants of Peter's memory had manifested into a persona, and it was basically watching Otto as Otto was like living as Spider-Man and being Spider-Man, but he was both doing a better job but also like going about it completely differently and in a wrong way. It was really cool because like he would do stuff, but that would be like way more efficient, and like the ghost Peter would be like, what? I can't believe I never thought of that. That sounds really cool. But then he would also, like, he's also been, like, beating every villain within an inch of his life with his spider strength. Because, you know, before it would be, like, Peter pulling his punches, where Otto does not, and just goes all out and just, like, borderline kills people, and he even, like, killed one dude. So it's like, whoa. And, like, Peter's ghost just had to, like, or memory ghost had to just, like, sit there and watch it, and I was like, oh, man, that was crazy. It was a great issue, and, like, that was great. I didn't even, like, know who that dude was, like, because I've been, like, out of the game so long. I was like, who is this massacre dude? And, like, it turns out he's just some dude that, like, shoots people. Or, like, I don't know. It's really weird how, like, they have that character and, like, current events, and, like, they would, like, have that guy in like, stories and stuff, but then they killed him off, so that's really weird. A+X I dropped just because it's, like, for $4 in, like, an anthology series like that, I mean, there are, like, cool team-ups you can do, but it's not really worth it because there's no real like story involved. It's just like a fun read. So yeah, I did like the Rogue and Black Widow one, and like the Captain America. All the Captain America ones were good. Like Captain America and Cable, Captain America and Kid Omega. I like the Iron Man Kitty Pryde one. That was cool. Yeah, it had some good stories. But not, nah, I wouldn't say it's like worth it to just like keep on with that one. So I dropped it. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm enjoying. I have no idea where the story's going, so that's always fun. Because I didn't know like what they're about. I just knew that like there's a movie coming out about them. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just read this so I can have like a idea of what it'll be about, and also to have like the whole. Well, the book is usually better. Well, almost always better than the movie. So it's like I'll just read this and then like not have to worry about watching the movie because I don't know. I kind of feel. I don't know. Like it's weird because like everybody says like Avengers is like a really good like superhero movie or whatever, and like now I'm kind of wondering, okay, so should I just go out and like start watching them now? But I don't know. The damages are just too far done and irrevocable or irreversible. So I just can't find the patience to sit in the theater and like watch some 90-minute movie when I just rather just read a comic and like blow through a story that's like really well written with like characters and like stuff on the pages happening. I don't know. I just prefer this than watching the movies. So I don't have to be worried about being disappointed now. And if I am disappointed, I can just like stop reading whatever series I'm reading. So solves that problem. Then onto the X-Men books. So Uncanny Avengers is like my favorite book right now, just because like every issue there's something epic happening. Well, not epic, but like there's a, like at least a throwdown per issue. I think the first issue was like Rogue punched Scarlet Witch or something, and then like the X-Men showed up, and there's like that whole crazy thing that happened. The second issue, or the second and third issue, they're fighting in New York. The fourth issue, I think they're. Oh, that was the one where, or was it? Is the fourth one where the Grim Reaper shows up? I'm not sure. Wait, no, I think that was the one before that. I guess they were still in New York fighting, probably. I'm looking it up as I talk. But then the last issue, actually I'm just gonna look it up because it's been really good so far. Because the last issue had basically Apocalypse's son fighting versus the Apocalypse twins, which was really cool. And I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Because like in issue, see now I'm confused on like 4 and 5. What happened? I don't even know like what number, so I'm just like, yeah. Okay, I'm looking it up. Okay, so issue 1 through 4 is like the fight in Manhattan against Red Skull and stuff there. Issue 5, they have an encounter with the Grim Reaper at the end of a press conference and stuff goes down. Issue 6 is a cool, like, time-traveling throwdown between Thor and Apocalypse, which is really cool. And issue 7, you have the Apocalypse twins introduced as adults because they've been taken out of time and then brought back into the present as, grown adult children. So that's cool. And they fought Genocide, who was Apocalypse's son. So it's like you have all this like stuff happening, and they killed a Celestial. So it's like there's gonna be total like blowback from that eventually, which is crazy. And like you have the whole time you have like Kang just manipulating all of this from the background, and like I'm just like wondering like what is his like plan on this. So, but if you think, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, and I like the whole dynamic of the team where it's like half mutant, half Avengers, and like even within like the team on like both sides are still like split on like or just like a good dynamic of like there's a good amount of like both infighting and like agreeing and disagreeing. It's like they don't always get along and stuff. Cause you have like Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch have like some past history of like romance or something that got brought up, and then like Havoc isn't like a straight up X-Man, so it's like he's just there to like I don't know. It's got like Alex's role on the team is like really interesting and it's cool. It's like weird how like Captain America picked him to lead it, but as like the mutant, and then you have like Rogue and Sunfire and Wolverine as the mutants. So that's pretty cool. But like, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like it seemed like there was like past history with Havoc with like Cyclops as far as like he wasn't really taking being an X-Man seriously, because like they had like some sort of like flashback where he's like, where like Cyclops was basically yelling at him to like get off the X-Men because he just didn't care about it or something. It was weird. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And then, you know, having Scarlet Witch there, who totally depowered, or not depowered, but depopulated the whole mutant population in MD. That's always fun. So yeah, that's the Uncanny Avengers, and I really enjoy it. So actually, I guess that and Superior Spider-Man are like, but then the other X-Men books are really good too. So, but I guess those are like, as far as like the solo book and like the team book, those would be like the top of my two. It also seems like the stakes are like super high in Uncanny Avengers, whereas like the stakes are not so high in like the X-Men books, even though they're like still pretty good. But like getting to the X-Men books, so Uncanny X-Men I'm liking, but I'm not liking it as much as All New X-Men, because All New X-Men basically has the original 5 X-Men, Iceman, Jean Scott, Beast, and Angel brought back into present time, and then and then you also have like the viewpoint of Scott's team, which is our adult Cyclops, who is him, Magneto, Magic, Emma Frost, and somebody else. Emma, Magic, Magneto, Cyclops. Oh, well, they have the Cocoon Sisters and Angel now, and they also have like some new mutants. And it's cool because they have like the dynamic on their team in the Uncanny X-Men is cool because like since their powers are broken, they kind of have to like lean on the new people. So until whatever happens to fix that happens. But I like All New X-Men more just because like you get a viewpoint from both sides, and you also have like this subplot of Mystique going around and causing. It's weird. It's like all she's doing is trying to like get a bunch of money right now. So it's like, where's this going? So it's like I'm interested to see like where that goes. Like her, Sabretooth, and Mastermind's daughter. So a telepath, a shapeshifter, and a berserker. So that's interesting. Cable. Oh, actually, All New X-Men. I think they also have some of the characters from Wolverine and the X-Men. So it has like all the different X-Men titles like crossing over in that book. That's pretty cool. Cable and the X-Force. It's not as strong as it was when it started. Like when it first started, I thought it was cool because it's like they're doing all these like different missions every few issues, and the arcs were really good. But now it's like it hasn't slowed down per se. It's just like the last issue was basically a teaser for Cyclops was going to be in it. So I was like, oh man, I wonder what him and Cable are going to talk about. But not too much happened there. So I was like, eh. But I'll still pick it up just because it's like I like that team because I didn't know who Dr. Nemesis was before this, and he's a pretty funny character. He's a fun character. I enjoy him. And like Cable's pretty, yeah. Like that's like a team. Like all the characters are pretty cool on that team that I enjoy. Like the beginning was cool because Hope wasn't in it. I was like, I hope she comes back, but yeah. Like without her, it's not like it's losing any steam with that team. So also Cable has like these crazy like prophetic visions of like, oh, this is going to happen. We have to stop it. So that's also one of the driving forces. Is like you don't know like what vision he'll get to like have to stop, and or what crazy vision he'll get of something apocalyptic about to happen that he has to stop. Uncanny X-Force. I'm loving Uncanny X-Force, except it's monthly, so it's like, oh, the wait between issues. That's the one thing I've learned from this endeavor into this hobby is that like with gaming, it's like you have to wait like years and years or a really long time between installments. Whereas like comics, you just have to wait a week and there's a new issue from like whatever series. So as long as you're like reading more than one series, though, it's like if you're reading one, you like might have to wait like a month or a couple weeks. So but every week I have something to look forward to now. So that's very rewarding to me, even if it is like the price is pretty. Like I wouldn't say it's steep. So it's like it's. I'm trying to think what the word would be. Like the price isn't an issue. It's not like I feel like I'm being ripped off. I feel like it's a pretty good value. But yeah, Uncanny X-Force, I'm enjoying it. And then Wolverine and the X-Men, I'm enjoying. let's see. I picked up all the Marvel Now stuff, so it's like that was the clown thingy, or the from the carnival issues into the like dog issue that they just had. I enjoyed that, the Savage Land, because like Wolverine took all the students to the Savage Land to like learn survival training, and then his brother showed up with all these henchmen from different time periods. But then they like started to like team up against him. And then it was cool because like in the last issue of the arc, it was the X-Men students that like finally formed up as a team and were like standing as one. And you have like all these like narration boxes from like Wolverine where he's like, you know, for a second there, they're just like X-Men. It was actually pretty cool. And that's just like really, I just really like the idea of like Wolverine running the school, because like to me that's like not the person I'd put at like the top of the list to think, oh, Wolverine is like gone off and made the Jean Grey school and is running things now, so, or is headmaster of the school, so that was just weird. Even though Kitty Pryde is kind of like the headmaster or headmistress or whatever of the school, so. X Factor. Yeah, what can I say? I just started reading it. It's like 250 issues in, so that was weird. Cause I got in and like it was on an arc about the whole. I talked about this in my current weekly comic thing of the Hell Wars or whatever, or Hell on Earth War or whatever. It's a weird story, but it was fun though, because like X Factor's HQ got blown up in like the first issue or something, I think, of that arc. So I was like, whoa, that was interesting. And then like they're trying to kill one of the sons of the team members, Tyr, who is Wolfsbane's son. So that was cool. And he has like, yeah, I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't like bad or anything. It was like weird. It was like it went somewhere I didn't expect it to go with the story, but it was like cool because like at one point, since it got like all apocalyptic, like the sky was like splitting in two and like bleeding, and that was pretty cool. Like the art and stuff. But yeah, like so far, like none of the stuff I'm reading I can like have complaints about, like the story or the characters or like the art. So I'm really liking that. And then I only have one issue so far of Batman and Robin, so I can't really say too much. But I did enjoy what I read, so I'm jumping onto those after the Requiem ended, or Requiem happened. So I was like, oh, I don't read those because they're depressing. So I'll just jump on after that, which I did. So when Batman Clayface shows up and he's fighting him now. So, but then I was like wondering, like I wonder if he would like ever make a deal with him to like be Damien, because there's like a whole subplot about Clayface being like mutated, where he can become the person he is morphed into and like actually like assume their persona. So I wonder if Batman would do that, but I'm not sure, and that would probably not really fit into more into Batman and Robin or something. So I'm not really sure if they're going to go there, but I don't know, it made me think. And then Batman and Robin, since they killed off Robin, is just Batman and whoever his sidekick for the week is. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that book. We'll see what happens. Like, but I'm a Batman fan, so it's like he can team up with anybody and I'd be interested. So it like Brave and the Bold style. So we'll see. And then like independent stuff, I haven't really picked up too much of that. I bought all of Saga because everybody's like gushing all over it. So I'm like, okay, I'll check that out. I haven't read it yet, so I can't say anything. And then there's a book called Storm Dogs, which is like a group of this. It's basically like this Black Ops team gets a call from a planet and they have to go investigate like what's happening to like the people there. So it felt very Mass Effect-y, and it made me like, and like after reading it, I was like, oh, that's pretty good, because I read the first issue. I haven't got the rest of them. I only read the first one, but I liked it, so that was nice. But yeah, I'm going to like start browsing like the sci-fi section of Comixology to find, or not to find, but like to see if there's anything I find that's pretty cool and worth reading. But yeah, I also like branched out and like saw a bunch of or I've been watching a bunch of different comic channels on YouTube. Like I guess I'll put like links, like Comic Uno reviews. What was that other one? I think it was like B3 Comics. That's one that's pretty good. Like I saw that when I was like, when I was making mine, I was like, oh man, there's a way better than mine. So I like subscribed and liked them. So I was like, oh, you guys are doing a pretty awesome job. And then there's also like I already mentioned them before in like past videos, but like Comic Book Girl 19 and Think Beyond the Ink, or what's it called? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Think About the Ink and Comic Book Girl 19. So yeah, those two. And then Comic Uno and B3. I think it's B3 Comics or something. But yeah, I've been like browsing a bunch of different channels on YouTube about comics and stuff, so it made me find like a bunch of other comics, or not comics, but like channels about like other stuff. So that was awesome. But yeah, I guess that's it for the comic section. 'Cause that's basically all I've been reading and what I've been enjoying what I have been enjoying of what I've been reading for the last month and what's been happening in all the issues, or lately anyway, because I can't exactly remember like what happened for the whole month of like every book I was reading. I'm trying to think if I added anything to this on my pull list, because I'm probably forgetting stuff, but whatever. Like if I didn't talk about it here, I'll be talking about it in my weekly comic review, so check that out if you're interested at all. So yeah, I'll be coming back after this with what I've been playing in the gaming realm, and anything else that I forgot to talk about in this Chatting with Tekken vlog that I wanted to talk about, but didn't get a chance to, or didn't get around to.